All right, guys. Another day. Another red day on the comms. What are we at? Let's see. Barely. Oh. We still got two more trades in us, and that's it for that account. Today we did take an L. The other day we did take an L too. So we're back-to-back 2 L's. Monday and Wednesday we took an L. So I really got to recoup, reevaluate what I'm doing today, and come back, in this week a little bit stronger. I'm gonna try to end this week more of just more chill. Like if we don't take any trades for the rest of the week, I'm cool with that. Again, 2 L's in a row, back to back this week. It just really, it's a bad start, but we're gonna go over this trade really more in depth, and we're gonna realize what we did wrong. Again, last week all we need is just one good trade to make all this back, and that's pretty much really it. So I'm not really impatient right now. I'm not really trying to rush it, and I'm not really worried about this loss either. I think it's more just what got the best of me today was being impatient. Same thing with the past couple trades. Today this trade was at 8:35. Last trade was at 8:49. And you can see some of my best trades are usually around like 8:50, around that macro time. But yeah, you can see here pretty much. And then also we took another trade on an eligible combine. Yeah, we took a trade there. Pretty much, these are just not touched, and just we're gonna review now. Let's go. So I did take longs on MNQ. So this was my first trade right around here. Let's go to object tree, long position here. This was my first trade, as you can see here. And I'm on the 15-second. I didn't realize that. So on the reason for this trade was because look, market went down as soon as 9:30 opened, right around here. As soon as 9:30 opened, market went down, came up, formed that inversion for rally up, and I thought to myself, since we did have SMT at the highs, since YM was pushing up, I thought, this is a clear draw on liquidity. The market is just going to reach for that real quick, and then eventually we're going to probably dump. My bias originally was bearish going into today, and this was a very naive trade, I won't lie. Only because we had this change in state of delivery, the market form, like clear, bullish PA, reversal PA, doesn't mean it's going to completely reverse, and continue to your direction, even after sweeping sell side. It just, the best trade would have been right here, honestly, entering here as soon as we had strong momentum. But even then, again, our bias was bearish, so why are we entering long? It doesn't make sense. And yeah, that's pretty much really the first trade, and that's where I got punished, just being impatient, having FOMO. Again, one of the worst feelings is just having FOMO, having the fear that the market is going to leave you behind when in reality it's not even moving anywhere without you. So that was pretty much really the first trade, really my trade that I lost, and it was pretty quick, I won't lie. It was just yeah, I can't say I could have hit break even, but there was a point where I was thinking about moving it to break even, but I just never did. Because again, it was way too soon. It was like, like the first 30 seconds into the trade, and I realized, there's no point in moving it to break even. If it's gonna run, it's gonna run here, and if it's not, we're gonna get stopped out. We're gonna take our L of 1%, and I was cool with that. We're just aiming for consistency, 1%. And yeah, and then eventually we took a second trade here with just some random account that has been blown. I won't lie. And we took the trade here. So here was the second trade. We have this BPR here, but we also have this SIBI here, which is also holding, and it's just clear. It's clear, clear as day that this is probably going to get disrespected because, again, the market's forming that bearish breaker, sweeping the high, sweeping even here. We had that clear, those bearish EBPs forming and those CRTs, and that's kind of what gave me the bearish bias to short. Now, I won't lie, I was thinking about entering on my other XFAs. I was like, bro, this is easy. Like long was clearly being long was wrong, and being short's right here. Like we're gonna go short. We're gonna go move lower, and I stopped myself. I was like, it's one trade a day. Just walk away. This is gonna be the hindsight trade of the day. That's kind of the reason why I took it on this combine that's been blown for a while. It's been blown since like August, bro. I won't even lie. So we can go all the way back to August. See, watch. Oh, you can't even go that far. But if you go to August, look at that. Yeah, it's been going for a while. But either way, I took the short again. Just bearish breaker, bearish EBP, all these higher time frames confluence just telling us bearishness. Going into today again, I just was impatient. I won't lie, I was impatient. Just had eagerness to get in and try to catch something, and that's kind of where I got punished for not following the system. And it's my third day actually not following the system, because yesterday we could have followed the system if we walked away after the first trade, but we didn't. We tried to take another one. So again, that's kind of breaking our rules, not really following the system, but breaking the rules, the trading rules. So again, back-to-back days of just not following our rules / trading system. Today we didn't follow the trading system. We didn't have enough confirmation. We didn't really follow our bias either. I was bearish today. I don't know why I was taking longs. Monday, again, we didn't follow the system either. Just not waiting for the confirmation. Again, these confirmations are very, very crucial to determining whether our directional bias is correct or not, and that's kind of where we fall short majority of the time. So I need to spend more time working on my confirmation of, and then boom, the final draw would have been met today, honestly. As you can see, it's like a 1 hour draw. Yes, 1 hour low, met perfectly. Clear look, if you let it run, if you let the trade run, look at that. 1 to 4, bro. We just aimed for 1 to 2, Could have aimed for 1 to 3. Halfway to, again, passing the account. But I'm not really mad. I'm not really angry or anything. I'm just like, I could do better, That's the type of mindset I'm on. Because days like this where the market is moving in your direction and it gives you those 3R, 2Rs, those are the days where you capitalize. And that's where you make majority of your profit. On the other days where you hit break even, like a 1R, 2R, like you hit break even, those are the days where you just sit on your hands and you're patient. But on a day like this is where you capture majority of your your profits for the week. So that is pretty much really it. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna bounce back from this? I'm gonna journal this loss, and then I'm gonna journal the win, which is the hindsight trade for today, and then I'm going to review that while I'm at the gym, and I'm really just gonna be meditating right now and dwelling, into like just being more patient, honestly, because that's kind of where majority of my fault lies in. It's like where the impatience comes and you just don't follow, like your step 2 maybe of your system or your step 3, and you just deviate away from it, or you don't wait for confirmation and you just enter too aggressively. So yeah,